Uh, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shakil and today I am going to explain about neutron moisture probe. So, a neutron moisture probe, also known as a neutron scattering moisture meter, is a device used to measure the moisture content of soil and other materials. It works by inserting a probe into the soil and emitting neutrons which scatter off the hydrogen nuclei in water nucleus. The neutron master meter consists of two main components, a probe and a gauge. The probe contains a source of fast neutrons and the gauge monitors the flux of slow neutrons scattered by the soil. In using the neutron meter, a cased hole in the ground is necessary for lowering the probe to obtain readings. And also we can say that a high energy particle containing two protons and two neutrons. Or we can say that a neutron moisture probe is the number of particles crossing a unit of area per unit. Now coming to its neutron moisture probe, how does it works and its source and its technique. The probe is lowered into the soil down an access tube when neutrons are emitted and interact with soil water. The density of neutron flux is dependent upon the amount of the water in the surrounding soil. The neutron uh, meter actually consists of two main components. One is probe and the second one is gauge. Now coming to its source. The neutron master meter consists of two main components, which I already told you guys. Now, coming to the source, that the probe contains a source of fast neutrons and the gauge monitors the flux of slow neutrons scattered by the soil. In using the neutron meter, a seized hole in the ground is necessary for lowering the probe to obtain readings. Okay, now the source. The fast neutrons are emitted in all directions where they collide with atoms in the soil through repeated collisions. They are scattered and some lose part of their energy. As the energy is lost, the neutrons are slowed to a speed of about 1.7 miles per second. Neutrons that have been slowed are said to be thermalized and are called slow neutrons. The neutron detector in the neutron master meter is designed to ignore fast neutrons, count only thermalized or slow neutrons. The average energy in a collision with another atom is much greater with atoms of low atomic weight than in collision involving heavier atoms. Now, hydrogen, we could say that hydrogen is the only element with a low atomic weight that is found in significant amount in typical soils. Hydrogen found in soils is almost entirely in the form of water. The occurrence of hydrogen in water allows for the use of neutron probe measure for water content. Now coming to how it works. Let me tell you guys that the fast neutrons are emitted in all directions, which I already told you guys. The principle involved in the neutron method for measuring soil moisture is as follows. Now there is a peak showing 1.8 to it's the upper gauge reading of 1.82 inches in a representative of a dry loam soil. The lower gauge reading of 4.54 inches of water per foot is typical of same soil after full irrigation where the soil is near field capacity, which commonly used americium and beryllium source. The so-called sphere of influence are effective radius of measurements variety with a radius of less 4 inches in wet soil to 10 inches or more in dry soil. Measurement close to the surface for intents within 6 to 8 inches of the surface are not accurate when the soil is dry because of the escape of fast nutrients through the soil surface. A special surface probe is used to measure the moisture as the top layer of the soil. Okay, now coming to its procedure. Now the procedure is access tubes should be installed with a minimum disturbance, a tight fit between access tube and soil. No voids should be created between the soil outside the soil, and an access hole and tube must be provided at each measurement site to allow the probe to be lowered into the soil. The tubes should be installed in snug fitting holes pre-drilled with a hand or machine operated soil core barrel or auger placing. Placing the access tube in an oversized hole and back filling is not recommended. Okay, now the access hole should be in line with the durable tubing which will hold the dispersions of hole at a constant size and exclude free water from moving into the hole. And the access tube should be small as possible yet allow easy movement of the probe, having minimum wall thickness and be made of material that does not hinder the movement of neutrons. Aluminum is practically transparent to the neutron and therefore is a desirable material for access tubes. Other types of tubes have been used successfully with appropriate calibration curves. Now coming to the imperating the data, which I didn't include it in the slides, but I am going to explain that Neutron master meter measurements are correlated to the soil type. The Neutron master meter measures total water content of soil. Only a part of water in a soil is available for plant use. The amount of water depleted from a soil water is determined by subtracting the corrected Neutron meter measurement from the total water holding capacity of the soil. Now coming to its advantages and disadvantages. Now the advantages of neutron moisture probes are soil can be measured regardless of its physical state. A neutron probe can read an average moisture level, and such probes can be interfaced with automatic downloading of stored data. Soil moisture can changes can be logged and measured to give accurate. Okay, so a primary advantage is listed above is the ability to measure large amounts of soil through its large depth range. This allows much more accurate measurement when compared to many others that simply calculate an average from a much smaller sample size. In addition, the depth of measurement from the Newton probe is limited only by the depth of cable, which can be customized to create an even more effective tool. Now coming to its disadvantage. Soil moisture change inadequate depth resolution may create a measurement of moisture content a little harder, especially in a heavily layered soil. Certain level of care and attention is needed due to the dealing with probes that contains a radioactive source. Okay, now coming to moisture, Neutron moisture probe are commonly used in various applications. Like where it is used, it is used in agriculture. We can determine the soil moisture content like irrigation management and crop monitoring, and in hydrology, basically there are fluid plants and we can check soil moistures, and further we can check in construction environmental monitoring. That's all about nutrient master probe. Hope you guys will like my video. Okay, thank you.